Welcome to All4C Learning session 51. In previous sessions, we learned chemical properties of alcohols, in that particularly acidic nature of alcohols and how alcohols are going to react with carboxylic acids like monocarboxylic acids, dicarboxylic acids, along with that intramolecular esterification. And we also learned that not only carboxylic acids but also carboxylic acid derivatives like acid chlorides, acid anhydrides, which also upon reaction with alcohol we are getting esters. The esters are having fruity odor, and we learn the mechanism by using O18 isotope which bond is going to cleave in alcohols and which bond will be cleaved in case of carboxylic acids. That all mechanism we learned, and let us continue for that. Alkylation of alcohols. Alcohols upon reaction with dialkyl sulfate. Alcohols upon reaction with dialkyl sulfate, we are getting ethers. Let us see ROH upon reaction with R2SO4. As we know, R2SO4 is just like ROS double bond O double bond O OR. So you can expect how reaction proceeds. Oxygen of alcohol is going to donate its electron pair to alkyl group of dialkyl sulfate. Oxygen of alcohol going to donate electron pair to alkyl group of dialkyl sulfate, and resultant OR new bond formation takes place. Later OH bond cleavage and this H goes here and this OR bond is going to break down. That means we are getting ethers product, along with that alkyl hydrogen sulfate. Ethyl alcohol upon reaction with dimethyl sulfate, we are getting ethyl methyl ether, unsymmetrical ether, along with that methyl hydrogen sulfate. In this reaction we are getting ether as a product, and we learned preparation of ethers in Williamson synthesis. Let us recall that Williamson synthesis, alcohol upon reaction with sodium metal, we are getting sodium alkoxide, RO minus and Na plus. Alkoxide upon reaction with alkyl halide, say R dash X. Here we are getting RO R dash plus NaX. So Williamson synthesis, alkyl halide upon reaction with metal alkoxide, we are getting dialkyl ether. Now in this reaction elimination is possible. Means along with the substitution product, elimination product also you are getting. It depending upon the nature of alcohol, whether it is primary or secondary or tertiary. Whereas in this reaction, feasibility for formation of elimination product is not there, because there is no base in this reaction. In alkylation of alcohols, there is no base, hence elimination do not takes place. We are getting ethers. That means difference in between these two reactions. Alkylation of alcohols by using dialkyl sulfate, we are getting ethers, and alkoxide upon reaction with alkyl halide, we are getting ethers. In both cases we are getting ethers. What is the difference between these two? In Williamson synthesis preparation of dialkyl ethers, we are getting elimination product also along with substitution product. That means we are getting alkenes also along with ethers. Whereas in case of this method, alkylation of alcohols, we are not getting any elimination product. That is the specialty of this one. Next one, with Grignard reagent, alcohols upon reaction with Grignard reagent, we are getting alkanes. RH means alkanes. So here, what number of carbon atoms containing alkane we are getting? that depends upon number of carbon atoms present in the alkyl group of Grignard reagent, but independent of number of carbon atoms present in alcohol. I am repeating. What number of carbon atom containing alkane we are going to get? That depending upon number of carbon atoms present in alkyl group of Grignard reagent, but not depending upon number of carbon atoms present in alcohol. So here, as we learned in previous sessions, Grignard reagent is an example for organometallic compound. Organometallic compound produces carbon ions, negatively charged carbon. In general, in alkyl halide we are getting, in alkyl halide always R gets positive charge, X gets negative charge. There, alkyl group gets carbocation character, whereas in Grignard reagent, carbanion character. That means it is strong nucleophile and also strong base. It is a strong base. In the beginning of chemical properties, we learned that R minus can abstract hydrogen from alcohols. So this R minus abstracts hydrogen from alcohol and we are getting RH. And along with that Mg, O, Mg and X, along with this OR. Along with this OR. So in this reaction, what I am saying here, what number of carbon atom containing alkane you are getting here? You are having two alkyl groups which differ in the number of carbon atoms. Okay. Now, which carbon means how many carbon atom containing alkane you are going to get? That because of carbanion you are getting from Grignard reagent but not from alcohol. That's why this R dash is going to abstract hydrogen and you are getting R dash H. Let us see ethyl alcohol, in which ethyl group consists two carbon atoms, whereas methyl magnesium iodide, in which alkyl group consists one carbon. Now methyl magnesium iodide upon reaction with ethyl alcohol, it has to abstract proton. So from where it is going to abstract? Oxygen containing hydrogen is here, carbon containing hydrogen is here. Which hydrogen will be abstracted? Oxygen containing hydrogen only, but not carbon containing hydrogen, because carbon containing hydrogen is non-polar, whereas oxygen containing hydrogen is polar. This hydrogen acquires positive charge and this oxygen is going to bear negative charge. And this methyl magnesium iodide, because of carbon is attached to methyl magnesium, methyl group attached to magnesium. Being magnesium metal, it bears positive charge and methyl group is going to bear negative charge. This CH3 minus now abstracts a proton from here, this oxygen containing hydrogen. Then we are getting CH4 plus, along with that CH4 magnesium, and one valence is satisfied by I minus, another valence is satisfied by OC2H5. Now, how many carbon atom containing alkane we are going to get here? Only one. That means in Grignard reagent only one carbon containing alkyl group is there. From this means corresponding to this alkyl group you are getting alkane, whereas in ethyl alcohol two carbon containing alkyl group is there, but that alkane you are not supposed to get. So we'll get only methyl carbanion is going to abstract hydrogen, then we are getting methane as a product. So here simple, what number of carbon atoms are present in Grignard reagent, that number of carbon atom containing alkane we are going to get, but not number of carbon atoms present in alcohol. I am going to consider isopropyl alcohol, CH3, CH3, CHOH. This one is isopropyl alcohol. This isopropyl alcohol upon reaction with phenyl magnesium iodide. Phenyl magnesium iodide. It is very clear. In this alkyl group there are 3 carbon atoms, whereas in this Grignard reagent case phenyl group is there, means 6 carbon atoms are there. So which one you are going to get? Which one you are going to get? We are getting C6H6 plus C6H6 plus. Here this pH minus abstract this proton, and along with that what we are getting? Magnesium bonded with one is iodine, another one is OCH Me2. Now I am going to generalize one point here. Grignard reagent always gives alkane with alcohol. Can we say that? Grignard reagent always gives alkane only product. No, we cannot say that. if you are using phenyl magnesium iodide, then you are getting benzene. If you are considering vinyl magnesium halide, then you are getting ethene. So which alkane you are getting? Whether you are going to get alkane, if it is alkane, which alkane? Or whether you are going to get alkene or alkyne, which product you are going to get, that depending upon only nature of group attached to magnesium metal, but not upon the nature of alkyl group in alcohol. Hope you got the clarity. So always alkane, that we cannot say, that depending upon the Grignard reagent. So here whatever the alcohol, whether you are using methyl alcohol or ethyl alcohol or isopropyl alcohol, whatever the alcohol, ultimately that is nothing but a source of proton, but not depend, but it is not going to rule that which hydrocarbon you are going to get product. So that depends upon alkyl group attached to Grignard magnesium metal in Grignard reagent. Clear? Now, so far whatever the properties we learned, that all properties are arised because of breaking of OH bond. Like with sodium metal or any active metals, it liberates alcohol, can liberate hydrogen. Like sodium metal, you are getting sodium alkoxide and liberate hydrogen. So their OH bond is going to break. And so far whatever we learned in acidification reaction or anywhere, what we learned here, we are getting only breaking of OH bonds of alcohols. Alright. Now with carboxylic acids, we learned ester is going to form. Instead of carboxylic acid, when we are using mineral acids, nothing but inorganic acids. In case of inorganic acids, what will be happen? Let us see here. If mineral acid means there are two types of mineral acids. One is hydrogen halides. Like HCl, HBr, HI. In such a case, how reaction proceeds? Okay, that is inorganic acid. But here I am going to consider mineral acid, that is oxyacid. Which one it is? Oxyacid. Oxyacid means like sulfuric acid, like phosphorus acid, like phosphoric acid. These are all oxoacids. So hydrogen halides are acids and oxoacids also acids. Let us see first how alcohols are going to react with oxyacids or mineral acids. I am going to consider R with mineral acids. In mineral acids means inorganic acids. In inorganic acids, I am going to consider oxoacids. With oxoacids, how the reaction proceeds? Let us see. ROH. Upon reaction with oxoacid, I am going to consider nitric acid. HONO, double bond O, double bond O. In this case, OH group of nitric acid and this OH bond of alcohol. Here ON bond of nitric acid, from this OH group you are getting, and from alcohol OH bond is going to break, that means H you are getting. Then what we are getting here product? RON double bond O, double bond O. This is what we called alkyl nitrates. Alkyl nitrates are nothing but alcohols upon reaction with nitric acid. So here, if it is carboxylic acid, that product what we call carboxylic ester. If it is nitric acid, that product what we call nitric ester. That means mineral ester. This product what we call mineral ester, and its name is alkyl nitrates. Nitric acid also nitrates. Let us consider ROH upon reaction with sulfuric acid. HOS double bond OH. In this case, we are OH group of sulfuric acid and H of alcohol. Then what we are getting product here? ROS double bond OH. So simply, if you look this reaction, what happened? In sulfuric acid, one of the hydrogen replaced by alkyl group. Looks like that reaction. But actually what happens, simply not only hydrogen, complete OH group is going to displace by OR group of alcohol. So alkyl hydrogen sulfate. If you repeat the same reaction, then what happens? Both hydrogens are going to replace here. Both hydrogens, we have to select that, or both OH groups. Then we are getting ROS double bond O double bond O OR. This is what we call the dialkyl sulfates. Alkyl sulfates and dialkyl sulfates are mineral esters. With carboxylic acid, we are getting carboxylic ester. With mineral acids, we are getting mineral ester. So with nitric acid, we are getting alkyl nitrates. With sulfuric acid, we are getting alkyl sulfate, alkyl hydrogen sulfate. If you repeat this reaction, dialkyl sulfate, in case of H3PO3, if you observe H3PO3 structure, OH, P double bond, OH, OH, three hydrogens are there, but first time one OH group of phosphoric acid and hydrogen of alcohol, then we are getting RO, P double bond, OH and H. If you repeat the second time, again here what happened? Water molecule eliminated, and here this OH group is going to participate. We are getting RO, P double bond, OH, OR. So alcohol upon reaction with which acid it is? Phosphorus acid. Phosphorus acid. With phosphorus acid gives ice. That's why here it is monoalkyl phosphite. It is ester, mineral ester, and dialkyl phosphite. Monoalkyl phosphite, dialkyl phosphites are mineral esters. Instead of phosphorus acid, when we are using phosphoric acid, in such a case, we are getting phosphoric acid. What happened here? P double bond OH, OH, and this hydrogen also OH group, right or not? So presence of three OH groups, all the three OH groups are going to replace by OR groups, means hydroxy groups are going to replace by alkoxy group. First one OH resultant, we are getting monoalkyl phosphate, means one alkyl group is there, remaining two hydrogens. So H3PO3, from H3PO3 what we are getting? H3PO4. H3PO4 we are getting RH2PO4. If one OH group replaced by one OR group, we are getting monoalkyl hydrogen phosphate. And if two OH groups are replaced, then that is dialkyl hydrogen phosphate. If all the three hydrogens are replaced, then what we call trialkyl phosphates. So monoalkyl hydrogen phosphate, dialkyl hydrogen phosphate, and trialkyl phosphates, all these are nothing but examples for mineral esters. So with nitric acid you are getting alkyl nitrate, with sulfuric acid alkyl hydrogen sulfate. Further reaction with alcohol you are getting dialkyl hydrogen sulfate. With phosphorus acid you are getting alkyl phosphites, and with phosphoric acid you are getting alkyl phosphates. So all these are examples for mineral esters. Earlier this question based on this, it was asked in mains, like among the following which one is a mineral ester. So he gave reaction with HNO3 or HNO2 like that, and alkyl nitrites with nitrous acid, alkyl nitrites with nitric acid, alkyl nitrates you are getting. So mineral acids. Now in inorganic acids, except that oxo acids, how the reaction proceeds with hydrogen halides or halogen acids. Let us see. So with the hydrogen halides, alcohols upon reaction with hydrogen halides, we are getting alkyl halides. This method of preparation we already learned in preparation of alkyl halides. and the name of Groove's method. Let us see Groove's method. Alcohols ROH upon reaction with hydrogen halides in presence of anhydrous ZnCl2 catalyst. In presence of anhydrous ZnCl2 catalyst, we are getting alkyl halides and water. Now, if you observe the reaction, alcohols in which OH group got displaced by X, means these are the properties in which alcohol carbon oxygen bond is going to break, hence breaking of CO bond. Properties of alcohols in which CO bond cleavage involves. Now onwards we are going to learn. And one more point, OH group get displaced by OH minus displaced by X minus. So how far it is possible? So OH minus is a strong base, X minus is a weak base. Since OH minus is obtained from water, whereas X minus is obtained from HX. So HX is a strong acid conjugate weak base, and weak base means weak nucleophile, OH minus strong nucleophile. How a weak nucleophile can displace a strong nucleophile? Overall this is a nucleophilic displacement or a nucleophilic substitution reaction. But how? Whether it is possible or not? Generally OH minus is not a good leaving group. OH minus is not a good leaving group. And OH minus cannot be displaced by X minus. This is true. But here how reaction proceeds? Because of when we are using HX here, here HX is nothing but acid, it donates H plus. Here alcohol oxygen is electron rich. It takes that proton and converts into ROH2 plus. And once this OH group is converted into OH2 plus, in such a case, this one will be a good leaving group and X minus can displace as OH2 plus. Here, as OH minus, X minus cannot displace. So how do you know that? Okay, fine. Let us do one thing. Instead of HX, if you are using NaX, suppose here it is HCl. So if it is HCl, reaction proceeds. Instead of HCl, if we are using NaCl, here also Cl minus is available. But this Cl minus cannot displace OH minus. Means in absence of a proton, alcoholic OH group cannot be displaced by weak nucleophile X minus. Whereas in presence of acid, because of OH group gets protonate and converts into OH2 plus, and this OH2 plus is good leaving group, and X minus or Cl minus can easily attack. Now, if it is a primary alcohol, then it follows SN2 mechanism. In case of secondary and tertiary alcohols, mechanism proceeds SN1, because secondary and tertiary alcohols upon protonation they form carbocations. That carbocations can be stabilized. Because of formed carbocation can be stabilized, that mechanism proceeds via SN1 mechanism. Whereas in case of primary alcohols, SN1 mechanism is not possible because of carbocation formation do not take place, hence it proceeds via SN2 mechanism. Now it's fine. Then what is the purpose of ZnCl2? Why we are using this anhydrous ZnCl2? Here anhydrous ZnCl2, anhydrous means without hydration, means there is no water. And actually covalent compounds has a special property. Covalent compounds, they preferably crystallizes by taking water molecule. Means ZnCl2 exists as ZnCl2 to H2O. Means hydrated zinc chloride we are not supposed to use, because in hydrated zinc chloride this zinc vacant orbitals already coordinated with water molecule oxygen. That's why by using hydrated zinc chloride there is no use. That's why I am going to mention here anhydrous zinc chloride. In case of anhydrous zinc chloride, it can coordinate with oxygen lone pair. That means oxygen is going to donate its lone pair into vacant orbital of zinc. Resultant, there will be a new bond formation in between oxygen and zinc. Whenever new bond formation takes place, oxygen is going to acquire positive charge. So since oxygen is more electronegative, when it acquires positive charge, then this OR bond is going to cleave. That means poor leaving OH group after coordinating with anhydrous zinc chloride, it converts into good leaving group. In other words, we can say after formation of complex, which one? Alcoholic oxygen with what? Anhydrous ZnCl2, and it converts this OH group, poor leaving OH converts into good leaving complex. So in order to convert that poor leaving group into good leaving group, we are using anhydrous ZnCl2, and after using anhydrous ZnCl2, whenever this one turns good leaving group, then X minus can be easily approaches the alkyl group of alcohol. So order of reactivity, Hi is greater than HBr is greater than HCl. Because of acidic strength is more, tendency to donate proton is more. That's why order of reactivity of hydrogen halides, we can say Hi greater than HBr greater than HCl. And this one only we are using to distinguish primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols under the name of Lucas test, in which reagent is called Lucas reagent. Lucas reagent is anhydrous ZnCl2 and concentrated HCl. Anhydrous ZnCl2 and concentrated HCl. This is what we call Lucas reagent. So with Lucas reagent, tertiary alcohols responds immediately. So what response they will give? Alcohols converts into alkyl halides. In alkyl halides, methods of preparation already will learn. Once again, tertiary alcohols, being alcohols, they are water soluble. Remember that alcohols are water soluble. Alkyl halides are water insoluble. Alcohols are water soluble. Alkyl halides are water insoluble. Tertiary alcohols, upon reaction with anhydrous ZnCl and HCl, being tertiary alcohol, it readily forms tertiary carbocation. Upon tertiary carbocation, halide has to come and attack. Resultant, you are getting tertiary alkyl halide. That tertiary alkyl halide is water insoluble. So that what we call water insoluble compound, what we call turbidity. So tertiary alcohols with anhydrous ZnCl2, they forms turbidity immediately. What turbidity we are getting there? That is nothing but tertiary alkyl halide. In case of secondary, compared to tertiary carbocation, secondary carbocation is less stable. Compared to tertiary carbocation, secondary carbocation is less stable. That's why with anhydrous ZnCl2 and HCl means Lucas reagent, that turbidity will be formed within 5 minutes. It will take 5 minutes time. Whereas with the primary alcohols we can say no turbidity. With the primary alcohols we can say no turbidity, or after long time you will get the turbidity. The turbidity is nothing but alkyl halide. So order of reactivity of alcohols is tertiary greater than, secondary greater than primary. Order of reactivity of alcohols towards Lucas reagent is tertiary immediately gives turbidity, secondary gives turbidity within 5 minutes, and primary gives after long time. Now, how this mechanism process we learn that via formation of carbocation, right? So let us see here 3-methyl-2-butanol. 3-methyl-2-butanol. This 3-methyl-2-butanol upon reaction with HBr, we are getting CH3, CHOH2 plus and CH3. So once OH group convert into OH2 plus, it readily forms carbocation. Which carbocation we are getting here? Secondary carbocation. This secondary carbocation is less stable compared to tertiary. Hence here what happened? One of the hydride shift. After hydride shift, we are getting tertiary carbocation. this tertiary carbocation upon reaction with Br minus, this Br minus has to come and attack upon this positively charged carbon. Resultant you are getting 2-bromo 2-methyl butane. 2-bromo 2-methyl butane. So we are getting product like this. That means there are, whenever we learn from first onwards, whenever there is a formation of carbocation, their rearrangement and ring expansions are possible. Here secondary carbocation rearranges to tertiary. So we are getting two products. One is based on secondary carbocation, another one is based on tertiary carbocation. As secondary carbocation is less stable, tertiary carbocation is more stable. Since from tertiary carbocation what product we are going to get? That is major product, and from secondary carbocation what product you are going to get? That is minor product. So minor and major, but don't forget that stereochemistry you need to apply. If you ask that how many number of carbon atoms, in this case if Br comes here, it exhibits D and L isomerism, means stereochemistry applicable. Of course here stereochemistry is not applicable. Let us see, in this case this is cyclic compound upon reaction with HCl. So reaction how proceeds here? We are getting first secondary carbocation. This secondary carbocation, there is a possibility of methyl migration. You are getting tertiary carbocation. From that one product you are getting, and one more product, ring expansion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There will be a formation of 6-membered ring, and because of this bond is going to break, hence here you are getting positive charge. And from this we are getting Br minus attacks or Cl minus attacks upon this carbocation. Then we are getting product Cl, methyl and methyl. So this is the product actually what we are getting. And beyond of that, whatever the possibilities are, the carbocation possibilities, from all the carbocations you are getting products. But ultimately more stable carbocation gives a major product. So instead of this ring expansion, if this methyl migration takes place, in such a case you are getting product carbocation like this. This also tertiary. Here this one also tertiary, this one also tertiary. Both are tertiary carbocations. And from the 6Cl minus has to come and attack here, you are getting product. So out of these two, which one is major product? Obviously this is a major product, because of even though both carbocations are tertiary. Even though both carbocations are tertiary. Ultimately 6-membered ring is more stable than 5-membered ring. That's why we are getting product. This product as a major product and this product is a minor product. Now during reaction with the hydrogen halides, if the alcohol is secondary or tertiary, in such a case carbocation mechanism proceeds. Whenever carbocation mechanism proceeds, there will be ring expansion or rearrangements are possible, and we can easily find out that which one is more and which one is major and which one is minor.